Hello, dear listener. Welcome to my pödecast. I would like to welcome you here on episode 1 with some words of wisdom that have been imparted to me by the internet. So if you go to twitter.com, on the home page, a promoted tweet here tells me that there are epic ways in which teachers hilariously trolled their students. Now, I am very much in favor of teachers epically trolling their students. It is the way teachers have always functioned. It is an essential part of growing up, being trolled by your teachers. There is a lot of pathos that is grown in students through these activities. I think that very few people truly do appreciate the deep implications that come with the educators taking the time out of their schedule and the financial resources and the sheer vitality that it costs them to, of their own volition, do this in a classroom for the benefit of their students. So let's read from this article here on drivepedia.com, underneath an ad for trending racing gadgets luxury. So this was written by Taylor McAdams, on January 9th, 2018, which makes it just old enough to be promoted on Twitter, I suppose. The article begins, "Some say being an educator is the hardest job on the planet." And personally, I would agree, frankly. I don't think there is a single job on the planet that you could name, really, or even that you couldn't name, that requires more skill, talent, attention than teaching kids how to add numbers and making them read history books. It is an invaluable job, and there is simply no way that I could overstate how important it is to have high quality, well remunerated, I think that's how you say it, teachers in school. The article continues, and it is not hard to understand why it's the hardest job on the planet to be a teacher, you understand. As if balancing between the material needed to be taught and over-demanding, intrusive parents aren't enough, then there are the mischievous kids who could take up pranking as a profession. Listen, if you're in school as a child and you're pulling pranks on your teacher, the current system isn't laid out with sufficient barriers for that. In an ideal world, the way I see it, if a child pulls a prank on an adult and succeeds, I don't know what to say. I think we need to bring back the death sentence, right? We don't have that in Canada here anymore, but I think it would be justified here. Children thinking that this cathedral of knowledge that is elementary school and high school being defiled, just being vandalized spiritually and morally by children. I'm sorry, I get a little bit heated here, but this is why I think we should have abortions up to the 74th semester. There's instances like this where I just don't understand. First we stop getting rid of children in the woods, like just leave. Historically, when children would ruin society, like when children would cause the very fabric of society to rot away like this, you would leave them in the woods to be eaten by wolves. What happens now? Well, in recent history, that was downgraded to spanking and verbal abuse. Totally ineffective. But now we don't even get that anymore. Now we're not even allowed to beat our children. This is the world that we get when we don't give all the power that the teachers need to get the job done. Because at the end of the day, those children that waste the public resources, the teacher's time, and their goodwill on pranks, they're going to grow up to be serial killers, murderers, rapists. They're going to own international banks. They're going to be furries. Who knows? The article continues. However, these hilarious teachers decided they'd have the last laugh. Pop star and musical legend Beyonce Knowles is often referred to as Queen Bee, and this teacher wanted a slice of her success. Using the woman who coined the saying, "If you liked it, then you would have put a ring on it," the teacher altered the famous song's lyrics by swapping them with, "If ya wanted a grade, you should have put a name on it." Bravo! This is the spunk we need in education these days. This person, quite simply put, deserves a Nobel Prize in education, and perhaps in several other fields. It may sound ridiculous, but it gets the point across. That's correct. That is correct. That was just too good. I'm a little fired up right now. That was just one of the most epic trolls I have ever read about in my entire life. And they say that public school is useless? No. This is the foundation of our civilization. Well, that's all the time I had. Thank you for listening, for being part of the podcast experience. Don't forget to sign up to my Patreon at patreon.com/shit. Oh, they shut it down. Okay. Well, don't subscribe to Patreon, though, because I'm not going to get the money. I'll come up with a different scheme for my vast audience here to support me. In the meantime, please donate to the ACLU in my name, and I will speak to you at a later date. Sayonara.